You know, what if a massive chart-topping pop song was actually a secret masterclass in self-love? Well, today, we're going to deconstruct a global hit to map out this incredible journey, from the ashes of heartbreak all the way to real, powerful self-empowerment. And we're going to use the lyrics as our guide.
Okay, this single line right here, this is the core idea of the entire story. It's so much more than just a lyric. It's this quiet but incredibly firm declaration of independence. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how our narrator gets to this powerful conclusion.
First up, an anthem of self-love. So we're not just looking at a catchy song, not at all. We're actually treating this as a kind of modern playbook for resilience, a guide for how to become emotionally self-sufficient when a world you've built just completely falls apart. On to Section 2, the dream that burned. You see, to really appreciate the strength that comes later, you have to understand the pain that came before. So let's set the scene. Let's look at the before picture, a relationship that from the outside looked absolutely perfect, but in the end, just couldn't survive.
And this really shows the central conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the dream. We were good, we were gold, kind of dream that can't be sold. I mean, that sounds priceless, right? Untouchable. And then you get the stark, devastating reality of how it ended. Built a home and watched it burn. It's the story of this perfect ideal just crashing headfirst into a painful reality.
Moving on to Section 3, a teardrop turning point. You know, every great story of transformation has a catalyst, right? That one pivotal moment where everything just shifts. And in this story, that critical turning point is born directly from a moment of intense pain.
And this maps out that exact process for us. It starts with this deep reluctance. I didn't want to leave you. You can tell this was not an easy choice. And that attachment, it leads right into the pain of step 2, started to cry. But here's the pivot. This is the moment. The very act of breaking down is what triggers the breakthrough. The realization, but then remembered It's in that moment of complete despair that a sense of self gets rediscovered, and it changes the entire direction of the story.
Section 4, the acts of independence. So, what happens after that big light bulb moment? Well, the narrative shifts from an internal feeling to external action. This part is all about translating that newfound self-awareness into concrete, tangible acts of self-care.
Now, take a look at these actions. Do you notice how each one kind of reclaims a traditional romantic gesture? Buying flowers, dancing, holding hands. These are all things our culture tells us we do with a partner. Psychologically, this is such a powerful move. It's about consciously taking these rituals and transforming them from symbols of a shared romance into new, fulfilling, independent experiences.
Yeah, this isn't just about finding hobbies to pass the time after a breakup. Not at all. These are powerful, symbolic acts. They are declarations proving that the narrator can provide for their own emotional and romantic needs without having to wait for someone else to do it for them. And all of this leads us right to our final section, loving yourself better. This is it. This is the ultimate state of empowerment, the profound conclusion that all of the previous steps have been steadily building towards.
This line is so critical. No remorse, no regret. I forgive every word you said. Now, at first glance, you might think this is about forgiving an ex-partner, but the real power is in the narrator's own liberation. By forgiving, they aren't excusing the past, they are releasing themselves from its weight. It's about achieving a state of peace for their own benefit.
Which, of course, brings us to the central question this whole story is asking us. After watching this entire journey, from a perfect dream burning down through tears to these radical acts of independence, what does it truly mean to love yourself better?
And the narrative gives us its own definitive, unapologetic answer. It suggests that self-love isn't just about recovery, it's about discovering that you are always the one with the power to care for your own heart. Yeah, I can love me better than you can. It's such a simple yet incredibly radical final thought on where true love actually begins.